This is Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf, and before we start the lesson as far as going through the chord progressions and things like that, the verse, chorus, and solos and things, I'm going to show you some of the techniques that you're going to need to know to play the song, and let's do it. Okay, the first technique you're going to need to do is a movable chord shape that looks like this. It's a bar chord where we're going to put our third finger across the fourth, third, and second strings, and we're going to kind of flop it over, hyperextend it. And then our first finger is going to come over to the fifth string. And right now I'm doing it on the 7th fret. I've zoomed in kind of close here so you can't see the frets over this way, but I wanted you to see my hand a little better, so just trust me, we're on the 7th fret. And that's going to be the first chord of the song. It's an E chord. The other bar chord we're going to need to know looks like this. And the way we construct that one is we use our first finger across all the frets here. This is on the 7th fret. Our second finger is going to come to the 3rd string on the 8th fret. And then our pinky and third finger are going to come to the 5th and 4th strings on the 9th fret, in this case. Now remember, these are all movable chords. Even though I showed it to you on the 7th fret, we could just as easily move it to the 5th fret, or even to the 3rd. And the 3rd and 5th frets are where we're going to use it in the song. So in the song, we're going to have our E chord shape here, up on the 7th, this other power chord shape on the 3rd, and then we're going to move it to the 5th. So those are the chords you're going to need to know. Next, you're going to need to stretch your fingers a little bit. For this technique, it looks like this. Kind of a tricky maneuver. You have to stretch your pinky all the way up to the 12th fret on the 4th string while maintaining this position here with your 3rd on the 9th fret across all these. And that's the part of the song that goes like this. So what I did there again is I just stretched my pinky up here to 11th and then to 12th, strumming only the 5th string and 4th string. So there's the other technique we're going to need to know. Next, we're going to need to know how to mute the strings while we're strumming. And the way you do that is you take whatever chord you're playing and lift it off slightly so that you're still touching the strings, however there's no sound. And then when you need a sound, you press it down. So you can see when I play the chords and I get a sound, I'm pressing here with my left hand. When I don't press, I get a mute. And that's useful for this little part. Of the song. And lastly, you're going to need to know how to bend a string. And the way you bend a string is you use your 3rd finger, in this song anyway, to push the string up on the fretboard, and therefore changing the pitch. Now remember, when you push the string up, you want to keep pressing down on the note as you bend it up. You don't want to let go and end up with something like this, which is something I see from my beginning students all the time. So remember to keep pressing the note while you push the string up, and you should be okay with the string bend. And one more technique, the pull-off, where you pick a string And in this case, we're on the 9th fret with our 3rd finger. We have our 1st finger prepared here at the 7th. And then we just pull our finger off to produce the next note without picking. See here, I pick, pull, pick, pull. So there's all the techniques you're going to need to know to play the song. Let's get started and learn it. Okay, we're going to cover the verse and intro to the song at the same time because they're very similar. So this segment of the lesson is all about the intro and the verse. And it's going to combine a lot of the techniques we went over in the technique section. And there we go. There it is along with the music. As you can see, I incorporated our E chord with some muting. And also used our stretch lick here. In the other part of the riff. Let's start with the muted E chord. It all starts like this. Down, mute, mute, down, mute, up, up, mute, down, down. And with the downs, we're going to do our stretch. So slowly what I'm doing is this. Down, mute, mute, down, mute, up, mute, and then. There we go, there's that part. Now when the verse starts, basically it's just sparser. We don't do any of the down, mute, 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 all this stuff. We just go. And that fits in where it goes, get your motor running, head out on the highway, etc. So that's how that fits in. And there's your intro and verse. Let's move along to the bridge section. Okay, next up we're going to go through the bridges to the songs. There's 3 of them, each with different fills. And we're going to go over them all in this segment of the video because they're so similar. All we have to do is plug in the different fills at different places. The first one is between the first 2 verses because they don't go to a chorus. The second one is between the second verse and the chorus, and the third one is between the 3rd verse and the 3rd chorus. I'm going to play them along, or play the first one along with the music, and then we'll go over it chord for chord. I'll do that once more for you so you can get it. Okay, so there that is. What we're going to do is use our bar chord that we learned earlier, this shape, starting on the 3rd fret, and we're going to pluck just the bottom, then just the top. Then we're going to move it up to the 5th fret, same idea. So what we have so far is this. One more time. Then our fill. And this fill looks like this. We start with our 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string. Then our 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Then our 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And those are going to be the first 3 notes to it. Next we bend the 9th fret note, like we learned earlier. Release it, like so. And then pull to the 7th fret using the pull technique we learned earlier. So the whole thing looks like this. And we're going to do that just once, so that it looks like this. And from there we do this again. Then we're going to move down here to the open position. First finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. And an open 3rd string, 2nd fret, bent. Bring it back down and pull. And then we're going to do this again. 3rd fill looks like this, which is 6th fret with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string, and you're going to pick this kind of as fast as you can, and then quickly pick the 4th fret note using your 1st finger just once, and then the 7th fret note here with your 3rd finger. This is all on the 3rd string. And it's kind of sloppy the way he does it. I doubt he does it the same way twice, at least with how many picks he uses. Something like that. So there's our fills for the first bridge. Let's take a look at the second one. What we're going to do here is our chord shape again. Original thing we did. Then we're going to do this again. Then a different fill, which is up here with our 2nd finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string. Then 1st finger, 8th fret, 2nd string. 3rd finger, 10th fret, 2nd string. So those are our first 3 notes. Then we're going to bend and release just like we've been doing, all on the 2nd string, and pull to the 8th fret. Like that. So the whole section looks like this so far. Last part is the same lick we saw before. Then we wrap it up. So there's the second bridge. Let's take a look at the third bridge. Okay, so this is the same idea again, to the licks that we know. We're going to use, it's just about the same as the first verse, except we're going to replace this with this. And this little lick here is your pinky on the 10th fret and 3rd finger on the 10th fret, 2nd string. And we're going to bend the 2nd string note while maintaining the pinky right here. And then we're going to bend it back down and then pluck 1st string. 1st finger rather on 2nd string, 8th fret. So it looks like this. So that's our other fill. The whole third bridge is going to look like this. So there's our 3 bridges to the song. Each one is a little bit different. I think they're easy to play, but they're hard to remember what order everything goes in when you do the full song play along. Let's move along to the chorus. Okay, here's the chorus to Born to Be Wild. Okay, as you probably saw, it all starts on our E chord right here. And what we're going to do is do a strum that looks like this. We're going to mute the downstroke and play the upstroke. So I'm doing mute up, mute up, mute up, mute up. We're going to do 8 of those and then do 8 of these down here, the 3rd fret power chord. Move it up to 5th. Just twice, back down to here, twice, and back to the 7th fret. So again, we have this starting on 7th fret, 8, 3rd, 8 times, 5th, 3rd, 7th. From that, we just go 7th, sustained chord, born to be wild to 5th, back to 7th to 5th, and then born to be wild again. And from there it's back into the verse. So here's the whole thing one more time. So there's our chorus, and the first chorus goes back to the verse. The second one goes into the solo, which we're going to learn next. Okay, here's the rhythm under the solo. It's just 2 chords, our E chord that we already learned, and the 7 sharp 9 chord, which looks like this. And the way you fret that one is you use your first finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, your third finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and your second finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. I forgot to go over that one in the techniques part, so I'm just going to show it to you now. And your pinky is going to go to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Should sound like that. Pretty odd sounding chord. Once again, that's first finger 6th fret 4th string, third finger 7th fret 3rd string, second finger 7th fret 5th string, and pinky 8th fret 2nd string. Now the whole thing's going to start. Okay, so our strum here is going to be real similar to the strum we saw earlier in the intro riff. Something like that. And it's largely ad-libbed. He doesn't really strum it the same the whole way through the chorus. He just kind of does his own thing, muting it sometimes and accentuating some beats, and not muting it at sometimes, accentuating other beats. So that's basically the idea for that. And then the second part of the solo, they switch to our 7 sharp 9 chord. Now this part he strums it the same all the way through. It's going to go down, down, mute, 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 all down ups, and then down, down, mute, 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 mute. So it's down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 down, down, mute, 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 mute. And I'll take that one more time through for you so you can see how it all fits in. The last part of it, there's a little part of a solo. Before they go into the break. And it all starts with your pinky on the 12th fret, strum 3 times, second finger on 10th fret once, then first finger on 9th fret once, back to 10th fret, and then it starts all over again. And it's a little hard to hear in the mix, but it's there. So if you want to play it authentically, you can play this chord first with the strum, then this with our muted ones, and finally wrap it up with the solo. So let's demonstrate it one more time so you can get a hang of it. There it is demonstrated one more time. From there, they're back into the verse.